Another live look tonight at Sky Harbor Airport. Winter weather in the Midwest and Northeast beginning to cause some delays across the country, but we're told right now, we're working this story, not having a huge impact on travel out of Sky Harbor Airport. Of course, you do want to call ahead, though. Check your airline, make sure everything's moving on time so you don't waste a lot of time at the airport. Get the latest information on your flight. You can head to our website, fox10phoenix.com.
Tonight, a Fox follow-up to a Fox 10 News exclusive report. Earlier this year, we told you about the FAA suddenly easing requirements for hiring air traffic controllers. The agency charged with your safety in the skies is now hiring controllers right off the street. No experience necessary. There is growing concern the FAA is no longer hiring the best and brightest to work these towers. For the past 24 years, the FAA relied on 36 universities and colleges around the country to provide a pool of highly qualified applicants to become air traffic controllers. Under the College Training Initiative, they're known as CTI students. Arizona State University has produced hundreds of them, top-notch, highly trained candidates ready to work these towers.
I have 2 degrees, bachelor's degree in aviation management and bachelor's degree in air traffic control.
Andrew Brigida graduated from ASU last year, ready to embark on a career as a controller, when suddenly in January, the FAA announced it was changing its hiring process. Instead of giving preference to military veterans and highly trained college grads like Brigida, it began hiring applicants right off the street with no experience, apparently in an effort to hire more minorities. You have trained for 4 years to do this job. Yes. And suddenly the government announces, forget all that. We're going to hire off the street. Does that make any sense to you?
Doesn't make any sense to anybody.
For 22 years, the FAA primarily screened air traffic control applicants using a rigorous exam called the ATSAT. Brigida aced the ATSAT. Fellow ASU grad Aaron Hogan scored 99. Now, off-the-street applicants gain entry into the program by taking an online biographical assessment, or BA, comprised of 63 questions, including what has been the major cause of your failures, and how many high school sports did you participate in?
I really was confused as to what they were looking for. Some of the questions were really dumbfounding.
Bill, as we will call him, is not a student. He's a 30-year air traffic controller who's worked in some of the busiest airports in the nation. He and other controllers concerned about the FAA's changes in hiring took the biographical assessment.
I went on there as a applicant. They never asked for a social security number. I filled out a profile on the website, and...
You could have been taking it for someone else.
Oh, absolutely.
And what did you discover?
That apparently I'm not very qualified to be an air traffic controller. I failed the exam.
A veteran air traffic controller and dozens like him failed the biographical assessment. How is it possible that a guy who's been landing airplanes for 30 years can't pass a test?
That one you're going to ask the FAA on.
One veteran controller put it this way.
If they don't want educated people, highly motivated, highly skilled people as an air traffic controller, I don't know what they're looking for.
Fox 10 News obtained internal FAA documents and emails that show the biographical assessment was never validated, and the agency knew it was flawed. There is a lack of transparency about the development and predictability of the tool. Very few people seem to understand the methodology behind the BA. Human Resources has restricted briefings on the background and development of the BA, citing advice from counsel amid concerns of legal challenges.
I want to understand what this biographical questionnaire is. I want to know why people are failing, not just that they're failing, and what this is adding to the quality of the people that we're considering for this program. This, to me, is really troubling.
After pointed questions from Congress over the hiring changes at the FAA, there's this internal email from an FAA Deputy Assistant Administrator. I want to consolidate a few different email chains and make sure everyone is on the same page. We have to find a way to address congressional inquiries without hurting our cause when it comes to litigation. If the goal of the FAA was to increase minority hiring, the biographical assessment appears to be doing the opposite. Some FAA employee associations have expressed concern that many very qualified minority and women candidates, as well as veterans, were deemed ineligible based upon the BA. Whatever the motivations of the FAA may be, the hiring changes have derailed the careers of highly qualified candidates like ASU grads Aaron Hogan and Andrew Brigida. After spending $60,000 on his education, Brigida's degree is worthless.
This is what I've been planning on the past 4 or 5 years, was getting out of college, doing some aviation work, and then becoming a controller.
Unless the FAA's policy is reversed, Brigida's dream and those of thousands like him will be dashed. Now, this curiously comes at a time when the FAA is desperate to hire air traffic controllers because so many controllers now are reaching retirement age. The agency needs to hire nearly 12,000 controllers by 2021, and they've already got this pool established with these CTI students that they're apparently no longer interested in. Several congressmen are planning on hearings on the hiring changes within the FAA. One of them, Republican Randy Hultgren of Illinois. He says about the FAA, the agency's lack of transparency continues to erode my confidence that it places in the safety of our skies as a top priority. We'll continue to follow this, and we'll see what happens with the FAA going forward.